Welcome to the wild and wacky world of crazy health remedies. We're about to dive headfirst into the most mind-boggling, eyebrow-raising, and utterly unconventional ways people have sought wellness throughout history. From sipping on the infamous baby mice wine to downing frog juice, these remedies will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about staying healthy. Before we continue, please press like and leave and comment. We post videos every week. Your support really means the world to us. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Baby mice wine, hold onto your hats, fellow adventurers, because we're about to explore a beverage that's straight out of a bizarre culinary fantasy. The legendary baby mice wine. Yeah, you read that right. It's a real thing. And it's raising eyebrows and perhaps a few squeaks around the globe. Here's the deal. This concoction involves taking freshly born, hairless baby mice, yes, the tiniest ones, and dunking them into a potion pot filled with rice wine or grain alcohol. Then, we let the whole potion age take place, allowing the little critters to steep like tea in a witch's cauldron. The result? A wine with, shall we say, an extra kick in the flavor department. Now, you might be wondering why anyone would do this. Well, in certain traditional pockets of Chinese and other Asian cultures, it's thought to be more than just a crazy concoction. It's believed to be a health elixir. Yep, people swear by it, claiming it's like a potion from a wizard's book, enhancing vitality, strength, and who knows what else. It's like Popeye's spinach on steroids, only, well, squeakier. But hold the cheese. Not everyone's on board with this mousy brew. Critics argue that it's a tad, uncool to use baby mice in this manner. Animal rights activists might have a few concerns about the whole dunk 'em in alcohol approach, and frankly, the mice probably aren't thrilled either. Now, here's where it gets even murkier than a mousel. The legality of this peculiar potion varies from place to place. In some spots, it's considered part of cultural traditions, while in others, it might be frowned upon for obvious reasons. Hello, animal welfare. From a health perspective, sipping on this brew might be like playing a risky game of dice. The fermentation process doesn't necessarily eliminate all the potential critters, and some bacteria might be tagging along for the ride. So, would you try it? Let us know in the comment below. Fish prasadam, the utterly peculiar fish prasadam of India. In India's fourth most populous city, Hyderabad, there exists a natural remedy for asthma which is undeniably strange, and it goes by the name of fish prasadam. The treatment has been conducted in India for well over a century by the Bathini Gode family, who claim to have been administering their famous medicine since 1845. The treatment involves the swallowing of a live fish, merle, which has a special paste in its mouth. The family claim that the paste as well as the movement of the fish down the esophagus will clear your throat and cure the asthma. The event happens just once a year, however, and the family recommend coming at least 3 years in a row to be fully cured, so make sure you plan ahead. The fish prasadam is not the typical fish you'd imagine. It's actually a small, yellow herbal paste prepared from a secret mixture of herbs and a specific kind of fish, typically the merle fish, Channa striata. The mixture is placed in the mouth of the fish, which is then administered to the devotees as part of a ritualistic process by the temple priests. The event attracts people from all walks of life, including many who come from distant places seeking relief from respiratory issues. Devotees believe that consuming this fish prasadam, coupled with their faith in the divine blessings of the goddess Mahakali, will alleviate their respiratory troubles. Fish prasadam is an excellent example of the confluence of faith, tradition, and cultural practices in India. It's a fascinating aspect of the country's diverse cultural landscape, where ancient rituals blend with modern-day hopes for wellness. However, it's important to note that while this event is a significant cultural phenomenon, its medical efficacy has been a topic of debate. Many people report experiencing relief, but scientific evidence supporting the medicinal claims of the fish prasidam is limited.
Frog juice.
High up in the misty Andean mountains, the villagers of a remote Peruvian hamlet have a rather unusual, yet strangely intriguing, solution for health troubles. Drumroll, please. It's none other than the amphibian heroes of the swamp, frogs. Yes, you read that right, and it's safe to say that this practice has hopped into the spotlight, making quite the splash. A froggy elixir with a twist. But hold on to your lily pads, there's more to it. They don't just toss frogs into a blender and call it a day. Oh no, this is a concoction as complex as a rainforest symphony. The frog juice, lovingly crafted, gets a boost from the famed Peruvian maca root, a hint of honey sweetness, and a medley of other wholesome ingredients. The result? An elixir that villagers claim can tackle a laundry list of health issues, from anemia to tuberculosis, and even the ominous-sounding brittle bones. A leap of faith. Now, before you start frog catching for your next health tonic, there's a little hiccup, or should I say, croak. The star of the show, the Titicaca water frog, is, unfortunately, an endangered species. And as much as we love creative solutions, we wouldn't want to contribute to the froggy woes by sipping on this tonic. Recommended alternative. So, while we tip our hats to the villagers' ingenuity, let's hop, pun totally intended, over to other health solutions that don't involve our amphibian friends in distress. There's a world of teas, herbs, and wellness practices out there just waiting for your exploration. And who knows, you might find a remedy that suits you without making our froggy pals feel like the main course.
Maggot wound healing.
According to Dr. Ronald Sherman, an internal medicine physician and the head honcho at the Biotherapeutics Education and Research Foundation in Irvine, California, a nonprofit that's all about using live animals to diagnose and treat illness, maggot therapy is a fairly new kid on the medical block, with only about a century of action under its belt. The whole maggot magic involves introducing these live baby flies, or larvae, to a wound. The light bulb moment came when military surgeons noticed that injured soldiers who had flies lay their eggs in their wounds actually healed faster, especially for those brave souls who had to stay put on the battlefield. By 1928, a clever Johns Hopkins physician cracked the code on cultivating medical-grade, squeaky clean maggots for treatment. Flash forward to 2004, when the FDA gave the nod for marketing maggots as a medical remedy for slow-to-heal wounds like diabetic foot ulcers, those pesky bed sores, and even chronic leg ulcers, post-surgical wounds, and acute burns. The maggot magic trick? Applying these little critters to the wound's surface and letting them do their thing under a dressing for about 48 hours. Turns out, these hungry heroes secrete enzymes that act as a magic eraser for dead and infected tissue, a process that's called debridement in fancy medical lingo. But hold on, folks. Here's the twist. Maggot therapy was all the rage in the old days until antibiotics marched into the scene in the 1950s, putting maggot fame on the back burner. Fast forward to the 21st century, with antimicrobial resistance and tough-to-treat wounds on the rise, and guess who's back? Yep, those super-effective flesh savers, maggots. But it ain't all smooth sailing. Maggot therapy has to face a big hurdle, the EU factor. Our culture, you see, associates maggots with the not-so-pleasant stuff, like death, doggy-doo, and smelly garbage. Admit it, says Sherman, our culture isn't throwing a maggot parade anytime soon.
Poop transplants.
Plants. Back in the 4th century, an ingenious Chinese physician had a groundbreaking idea. Why not give a concoction containing dried stool from a healthy person to someone grappling with nasty diarrhea or food poisoning? Yep, believe it or not, this historical hack was like an ancient attempt at what we now know as fecal microbiota transplantation. Skipping ahead a few centuries to the 16th, another Chinese medical trailblazer cooked up a curious concoction known as yellow soup. This curious brew included dried or fermented stool from a healthy individual and was rumored to be a treatment for a wild assortment of issues: severe diarrhea, vomiting, fever, and even the dreaded constipation. But fast forward to today, and we're not exactly sipping down bowls of yellow soup like they did back in the day. Enter the modern era of stool transplantation, also known by the catchier term fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT for short. It's not about taste or presentation, it's about results. In FMT, we're talking about transferring the gift of stool from a healthy donor to a person in need. However, the delivery method has evolved. No spoon required. Instead, we're talking enemas or tubes, which carefully introduce a glorious mix of healthy bacteria to restore balance in the gut. Well, they've become a lifeline for folks suffering from those recurring and often nasty Clostridium difficile (C. diff) infections, the kind that can be downright life-threatening. A recent study presented at a major digestive system research meeting showed that the symptoms of FMT recipients get better within days, although the microbial makeover in their gut could last for a good 3 months.
Urine therapy.
Many people believe that a splash of their own personal golden elixir can work wonders for their health. Yes, you read that right. We're talking about using your own urine as a form of therapy. Urine therapy, also known as urotherapy or auto-urine therapy, is based on the belief that your own urine contains healing properties. This ancient practice has roots in traditional medicine systems like Ayurveda and has been embraced by some alternative health enthusiasts. The theory goes like this: your urine contains compounds that your body naturally eliminates. Proponents of urine therapy believe that re-ingesting or applying these compounds can have a range of benefits, from boosting the immune system and improving skin health to treating various ailments. It's like recycling your body's natural resources. Forms of urine therapy. Urine therapy comes in various forms, including oral consumption. Some people believe that drinking small amounts of their own urine can stimulate the immune system and have detoxifying effects. They may start with a few drops and gradually increase the amount. Topical application. Advocates might apply urine to their skin, either directly or as a diluted solution, claiming that it can improve skin conditions, wounds, and even acne. Eye drops. Believe it or not, some folks use diluted urine as eye drops, thinking it can improve vision and eye health. Nasal drops. Yes, you guessed it. Some enthusiasts use diluted urine as nasal drops, believing it can help with sinus issues and allergies. Urine therapy is still practiced today, although it remains a niche and controversial practice. It's important to note that the acceptance and prevalence of urine therapy vary significantly from one region to another. Urine therapy has roots in traditional Indian medicine systems, such as Ayurveda and yoga. In some parts of India, particularly in rural areas, you may find individuals who still practice urine therapy based on traditional beliefs. The skeptics and the science. While there are passionate supporters of urine therapy, it's essential to note that scientific evidence supporting these claims is extremely limited, and many medical professionals consider it pseudoscientific. The body has highly efficient mechanisms for eliminating waste products through urine, and the idea of re-ingesting them for health benefits goes against conventional medical understanding. Safety and caution. If you're even considering urine therapy, it's crucial to proceed with caution. Consulting with a qualified healthcare professional is a must, as some individuals may have underlying health conditions that could be negatively affected by such practices. Hygiene is also paramount. If you decide to explore this unconventional route, proper sanitation and cleanliness are non-negotiable. So that's it for today. What are the crazy health remedies that you have tried? Leave us a comment and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.